Wow, we have amazing ComicsGate drama happening right now as yet another creator is turned off by the awful behavior of Ethan Van Sciver, Shane Davis, and Jon Malin. This time, Anna, that Star Wars girl, somebody who has been around these circles for a long, long time. She has been on the streams with them regularly on ComicsGate, on the Jack Show with Malin. And it's been a big blow up the last few weeks as they've turned on her. And it's all because of their own fragile egos, as usual, just attacking somebody out of nowhere for no reason. And she's too big to worry about them. She has much bigger following than anybody in Comicsgate. And so she's out now. And this was her talk about this, where she's going and just leaving after this terrible behavior. And I'm glad. I think it's good for her. I think it's good. I think more people need to distance themselves from this until these guys stop with this behavior and make it about comics first again. We've talked about this many times on the channel, how Comicsgate was supposed to be a movement that was supposed to oppose what the mainstream industry was doing. Their whisper network, their catty high school level behavior was something that was terrible in comics, and they treated the fans terribly. They treated each other terribly. And it is just a hallmark of what comes out of the mainstream comic book industry. So when we started Comicsgate, a bunch of us were making commentary on this back in the day. Your boy Zach, Unranked Chevron was one. If you guys remember him, Captain Cummings, Douglas Ernst, myself, Englentine. A lot of us were just talking about just like the terrible wokeness that was happening in the books, and on top of it, like the creators had bad behavior towards the fans. It was a big combo of just a toxic environment. And so when we were trying to make a movement that was supposed to transcend this, the original idea for most of us, what we thought is that, you know what, we need a movement of conservatism and real values in comics again. And so I brought that and said, we need Christian values because otherwise you don't have real values, right? And Christian values really are the beginnings and ethos of superheroics. If you look at the idea of superheroes are saints, right? And saints, of course, sacrifice themselves for the greater good, and that is and have immense power and can perform miracles, right? And so that is what superheroes really are an allegory for. When you get to the crux of it, and you can't have superheroism without those kind of values. So I was very, very excited to, of course, build this movement and try to get this going. Now, Ethan Van Sciver, Jon Malin, and Shane Davis glommed onto this, and they took it over because they went in with their celebrity status from Marvel and DC Comics and said, the only real people here who are the real people making comics are Marvel and DC people. And they brought in, they formed the Comicsgate Kings to create this sort of like we're above you pedestal that, of course, the mainstream comic industry does to their fans and other creators also. It's the same scenario. And they acted much the same way. They canceled people over politics. They diminished, everybody else's books, trying to attack them, and tried to gatekeep it as it became ever smaller under their watch. And they got nasty with their personal attacks over and over and over again with everybody. They started, of course, with myself back in 2018. Ethan Van Sciver used his war campaign personal army of people who were LARPing that they were Roman centurions and that he was Caesar. They'd go, "Hail Caesar!" It was really, really gay. And those people would flood every chat, make it look like there was overwhelming force, and scare people out of talking to anybody else, and make it a situation where it's a scare tactic. And this is, again, what the mainstream comic industry does. I have mainstream comic pros who talk to me in DM about what's going on in the industry, and they tell me straight up, it can't be known that I talk with you. I appreciate what you're doing, but you got to be quiet, and you can't. I have that situation with the mainstream comics. I have Comicsgate Kings, same thing, who DM me, and some people have. I haven't shown off who it is, but I have shown off that they've said this. It can't be known that I'm talking to you, because these guys know, and most of them, like I said, the ones these guys who glommed on to Ethan and the like, are just trying to get retirement checks out of comics, like, and just making comics and actually just build their retirement. They're not the evil people, but they are evil in that they have, of course, perpetuated this cancel culture that Ethan and Shane and Jon engage in. So that's where the whole movement's at this point. And it wasn't just me. Of course, Doug TenNapel got canceled because he was too Christian and conservative and a real creator. Mike S. Miller got canceled because he was too Christian and and a real creator. You see how it goes? Eric July got canceled because he was too Christian, too libertarian, and a real creator, right? It just goes down the line. It's like, everybody who seems to actually produce and fight the culture war suddenly becomes an enemy of Ethan Van Sciver and these people. Very, very odd. And so if you don't rock the boat, if you just sit there and just give Ethan the clout and then make it so that his thing is the fiefdom and he runs his little thing like a New Jersey mob boss, he thinks he's the Sopranos or something. We're gonna whack this guy, Um, that's who continues with this. Now, I never understood why Anna continued with all this. Like I said, she's got a following. She's an interesting person and has like is much bigger than all of this. But for some reason, I guess she liked these people and we're friends with them and the like. And Anna's been very nice to me. I met her in person a couple years back, and very nice person. So that is somebody who I was like, why are you still involved with this? And she's finally out. This is the video we're going to get into right now, and watch why she's out, which is very, very interesting to look at as we get into this news. Hit the like and subscribe button, everybody, if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys being here. And yeah, I hear she's going to be doing a tell-all stream, really going in on this as well. So this should be interesting.
I can't do Queens anymore. I was watching that live stream of Ethan and Shane basically imply that I'm going to be a whore.
So we covered this on my video last week where they were saying that. They didn't just imply it, they flat out said it. And it was disgusting. It was not right. And this woman's a mother, a married woman and a mother. It's not right to do, obviously. It's not right to gossip and talk like that about people anyway. And if you look, we try to keep things here on the work, the output, the this is what they're doing with the drama streams, and they need to stop this. My goal is not like to hurt these guys or to like personally be in a beef with them or anything like that. My goal is to get Comicsgate to a point where it's back on track. Christ conservatism in comics, right? And so I would love for them to get back on track and actually like do what Comicsgate set out to do. But that's the problem with these sort of takeovers like this. When it happens, the actual concept of an organization diminishes and goes away, and they're not about that anymore. So Comicsgate Queens is something that was playing off the Kings. I can't believe they all make these. It's so cringy. But she was streaming with a couple other gals who orbit all this stuff, and she's just like, I'm done because I'm not going to associate with that brand anymore. And so this is a big deal.
And I messaged them and I said, I don't think I can do this anymore. I like Mandy and I like Yanzi, but by the way, both Shane and Ethan have both apologized.
Of course they did, and they don't mean it, and she knows they don't mean it, and she's going to be nice about this here, but she knows how these guys operate. They'll apologize because she's got a big enough of a following and a big enough of a clout that they know that, oh gosh, it can.
To me, and I told them I get it. You guys were just joking, and it was like, if it was any other day, I wouldn't have reacted the way that I reacted, but it wasn't any other day. It wasn't any other situation, and I'm not mad at either of them. Like I know that it was just a joke. Usually it was a joke that I could take, but yeah, I don't know if I can do any other like other scheduled streams anymore. I don't want to do something that my heart's not in, and I'm just upset.
Yeah. So she is mad, which is okay. She has a right to be. I mean, what they did was awful. What Jon Malin did, flouncing and quitting a show and actually just like torching friendships, was awful. And it's just because of these guys' massive egos over and over that they just can't have a movement where it's about comics and about fun and all that. So she doesn't want to be around it. Good for her. This is fantastic. I think she's right, 100%. And honestly, it's just like, what took this long, right? So she's going to quit the streaming and the like. I came to this conclusion a while back. I don't really stream, and I don't go on a bunch of live streams. I don't spend my time doing that. And I spend my time writing comics and making comics and the like, and that's what I do. So I do a video a day here. I do a couple videos on my other channel. It's like 30 minutes to an hour a day for a promotion. and then I just work. And it's way more fulfilling. Like that's what I want to do is I want to create. I don't want to live stream. These guys did the opposite and they live streamed. And that's like all they did. And they didn't create. And that's what's been the major problem because then they have to cancel all the creators so people don't find them. And that's where ComicsGate's at again. And that's why I'm glad that Star Wars Girl is changing a lot of this.
And I watched I was watching Ballers and I heard, everybody basically say that they're on Jon's side, and I didn't know that there was sides to this.
There are sides, and that's how this works. Once these guys decide you're other, and this is like an SJW mob, Anna, they decide that you're out for good. And it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter who you are. They won't talk to you. They'll urge everybody else not to talk to you. Like Jon Malin did the same, but he told everybody to block me, right? Everybody in ComicsGate block JDA because he didn't want people to find what I was saying. He knew it was important what I'm saying here. He knows that this movement, that's Christ, conservatism in comics, is a real thing. And if that gets big, and if people find and discover this channel and discover what I'm doing and discover what I'm creating and discover all the people around me that we're building with, oh my gosh, it topples their entire network because it's real. It's way more intelligent. It's actually creative. It is what Comicsgate was designed to be. And you're just finding that you're on the, I feel massive sympathy, but you're finding that you're on the end of this that a lot of us found out we were on the end of a long time ago.
This, so like, okay, it's like, all right, then, I don't feel like I need to donate my time to do streams. So there's that.
Yeah, you can tell she's really upset, and she shouldn't have to. That's right, and that's exactly what I was like. I don't need to donate my time to do streams. You could sit on for 2, 3, 4 hours a day on these live streams, and what good does it do? Like, I don't want to be a super chat collector merchant. That's not what I'm here to do. It's basically charity and simping, right? And so, what do I actually want? I want to sell comic books. I want to sell books, right? I want to actually get people reading. That's what we've always been about on this channel, and that's why we do what we do. So this is a big, big deal, and it's a big sea change for ComicsGate because Anna's out. Anna being out shifts the entire dynamic where there's not a lot left. You do literally just have Ethan Van Sciver, Shane Davis, and Jon Malin, and then you have these like sub orbiters around them now, who are just leeching off of those three, and it's going to get even crazier with the drama with that because you saw what happened with Jon Malin throwing a fit at Graham Nolan for launching it on the same day. Now Graham Nolan had to kowtail to all these guys and actually go, I would never interview on JDA's website, even if it sells me books, because I don't even care about selling books. I care about you, Ethan. It was sick. And it's performative. And it's just evil that's going on there. And it needs to change. So, like I said, I hope these guys get back on track. I hope your boy Zach gets back on track. I hope that people become about creating again and actually become about Christ conservatism in comics. Because if we can get that going, guys, we can build a real culture, a real force that fights Marvel and DC and wins. And we can all do it together. Nobody needs to be left behind or left out or anything like that. But the behavior like this needs to stop. And obviously, when it hits somebody like that Star Wars girl this big, it's a big, massive problem. And this is a big warning sign. I don't know that they're going to wake up because they never wake up. Nothing. It seems to just spiral. And if you know these types, they always double down. And so I expect more of it, and I expect them to start going hard on her. If she does do her tell-all stream, it's going to be a big, massive problem. But she should have seen. She's been streaming with Yellow Flash forever. She knows Yellow Flash, like a good mutual friend of ours. Like she knows how these people treated him. Like, and this is what happened. This is the sad part about these influencer networks. You ignore it because it's like I can't ruin my influencer network, right? I can't ruin what I've got going, right? I don't want to like step on this and split the audience, blah, 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 blah. So I get it. And this is what the people always do. I get they're just fighting with each other, but I can be friends with both. And the problem with Ethan Van Sciver and Shane and Jon, they don't ever allow that. And because SJWs do this, they will not ever allow you to be friends with somebody you're not supposed to. This is the Whisper Network that they're trying to create. It's the same thing as the comic industry. It's like, if you don't bow to Heather Antos and Mark Wade and their like extreme left shit over there, you're out. And it's very, very similar with what's going on in ComicsGate here. It's like a mirror of the mainstream industry because these are the same people that came from the mainstream industry. And that's why we need to do something different. So proud of that, Star Wars Girl. Good work. And I hope you continue, and I hope things get good for you. Yes, let's make comics great again. That's what we're doing over here. Join us, hit the like and subscribe. We have a wonderful network over here, guys. I have a newsletter, which you can sign up for in the description below. You get free comics for doing so. I just let people read. It's like there's no grift. It's just read free. It's easy. And none of these other guys do this. Of course not, because they don't care with you whether you read or not. They care whether you buy the 48-hour variant cover, right? Um, I have a Discord community where we actually have like great discussions on there. That's getting pretty big as well. So these are places where we have real community, and it's away from all the performative crap where it's like people are trying to gotcha tweet each other on X or whatever. It's just stupid. And I'm glad she's out of this, and I'm glad because this needs to just be part of history, and we need to build something better. We need to build it comics first. See you soon.